Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I am going to be taking on the Twilight Banquet level 200 LUFENIA quest as part of the Astaroth raid event, and for this I am going to be going in with a party of Terra, Yang, and Dark Knight Cecil, with a Yuna friend and a Brothers Summon. So this quest, I know I'm being kind of lazy with it. I have not recorded something for quite some time, and honestly it's because, well, it's partially because I was being lazy and it's partially because the quest itself was annoying, but I have just decided to go for the easy route with it, and I am busting out Terra and I am going to be taking it out that way. So I tend not to like using Terra very much, not because I don't like her as a character. In fact, I think in Final Fantasy VI she's actually one of my favourite characters. Maybe not in the franchise, but I do have a soft spot for Terra, definitely. But I've not enjoyed using her as much in Opera Omnia because she's one of those characters like Lightning who takes like 5 turns to do what everyone else can do in 1 turn. Of course, she only consumes 1 turn by doing so, but at this day and age in the LUFENIA era, we've got characters like Varn and like Tifa. You know, you get a lot of damage per click. Like, you press 1 button and you do like 1,000,000 damage. And that's perfect for me. I like that. It helps cut down on the amount of time I spend on Luffy's, and it's one of the reasons I'll be probably going in for Sid Reigns. And then he gets cooked for like the next 4 events in a row, but we don't talk about that. But on this quest, the boss has some irritating conditions which makes it just much more straightforward to use Terra. One of which is that you can only maintain the LUFENIA orb, like prevent it from ticking down, if you inflict at least 2 debuffs with your attack. And there aren't many attackers that consistently do debuffs apart from Kefka, but I mean, like, Kefka, really? Yeah, yeah, no. And then the other approach is to have a HP poison, and I don't think anyone other than Exdeath even has one of those. So you can definitely tell that they rigged up this event in that kind of way. Obviously, it is Exdeath's burst like debut, so they definitely want him to be used. And the other thing is that periodically the enemies will of course go into that yellow aura phase where they battery themselves, and if you break them then you're going to be getting countered and very probably killed, and if you don't get killed you still get dispelled. So that's annoying, and that's why we've got Yang. If you use Core, you can use Core, but if you use him, then Core's follow-up attacks that aren't actually follow-up attacks, but they're like pre-attacks. If he breaks one of the enemies with those attacks, he will actually get countered and killed, so you don't really want to use Core for this, unless you have like a freaking Edge CA on him. I don't even know if that would work, to be perfectly honest. But if you use Yang, you can break it as many times as you want with no repercussions. So that's why I'm using Yang. And I'm just using Decil purely because he exists to use his LD skill to get the 20% HP debuff. So you can swap out for Yuna, who can then use her burst, and then we're just going to go to town. So without further ado, let's dive into it. If this goes well enough, the enemies should not get a single turn. So let's find out. I tried using Faris. Okay, so this is an absolutely janky as fuck turn order, which I do not like in the slightest. But it's okay, because Decil is awesome. He will be able to rescue this with his LD. I tried using Faris initially, but because Faris takes up so many debuff slots, including the debuff slots that Terra needs to apply her debuffs to prevent the orb from ticking down. So what ended up actually happening is that I screwed myself out of the ability to manage the orb, which you definitely don't want to be doing. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so let's get on our Gabranth. Let's get our Gabion, and then let us use our LD a few times to get the delays in. So I meant that 10 delay is very, very nice for unfucking the turn order. And honestly, I think that should be enough. Like, it's very tempting to just use this, but no, we're not going to do that. We are going to bring in Yuna, the High Summoner. Let's cheer. And then... yeah, you know what, like, I'm very, very... yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to burst first. We're going to burst first, and then I'm going to LD, and then I am going to use Terra's burst. There we go. Not the most damaging burst finisher, but it's good enough. So I should be able to do this without screwing things over much more. There we go. A lot of HP damage up on there. So if I do Magic Meteor like this, 64. Whoa! Oh no. Terra's kind of slid up a little bit too far here. So if I use this, yeah, okay, this is perfect. I can use Meltdown. Should maintain the orb. And then with Yuna, we can use her LD. You'll love to see it. Excellent. Okay, and now from this point forwards, it is all aboard the Terra train. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the game. And I just lost for the first time in a long time. You're welcome. Okay, let's keep going. So, might as well use Magic Meteor here. Very, very nice follow-up damage. Wow, you know what? Terra's actually with the blue armor and with the blue armor and with Yuna's burst effect. Terra's damage is actually highly respectable. I did not realize that the HP damage cap would be lifted to this extent. And she's doing 320k damage a click, which is pretty good, honestly. Like, there's a highly respectable level of output. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you all know what's about to happen from here. You all know how this is going to go. $184 though. $184 though. That's so good. I've got 4 LDs. This is unfair. This is completely unfair. Well, I have to say this is very satisfying in terms of how much this has trivialized the stage. So then, let's see. Future plans. That is a very good question. What do I intend to do going forwards? I mean, with this game in general, and also in the Luffy Plus era, I guess you could say. Well, I'm kind of torn, right? Because I do want to use Zidane a lot, because I do love Final Fantasy IX, and like your boy Zidane is getting his LD and burst, so there's no way that I am not going to be all there for that. But on the other hand, Ishtola's burst effect is so freaking good that like I can't not use her either. So I don't know who is going to get maxed out first. And then we've got Ace. Like, I don't have any sort of sentimental attachment to Ace, but he seems like too good to pass up. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess we'll see. In all likelihood, I'm probably gonna max out Zidane just for the character love reasons, and then take it from there. But I'm definitely going all in for Afmal, and I am definitely going to be using what's her face, Afmal's LD. Like, the cheese there is just too good to pass up. Speaking of cheese, gonna have to use my LD here. 194, that's so high. You can probably get that to like 200k, right? Like, if you have like friggin' Paladin Cecil or someone, or like Porum or someone else, or Iraha in Yang's slot, you can probably get up to 200k per attack, which is pretty spicy for global. I don't think they go that much higher than that in JP right now. It kind of makes me wonder, like, have the developers like developed themselves into a corner with the way that they've approached this game? Because like, I remember once upon a time when bravery attacks were a thing, and like every character didn't have like a gajillion HP dumps on every skill, but the game was always going to evolve in this direction because like it's the only way for it to go. So yeah, they still do a good job of keeping it engaging, but everyone seems a lot more homogenous these days, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. The stage is over. That was very, very, very straightforward, and probably not at all fun to watch, but it was satisfying to do because I tried to do this stage without using Exdeath or Terra, and it required significantly more brain power, and I'm not here for that this time. So, thanks everyone for watching, and until the next time, I will say take care and goodbye.